It's Friday 20th of March 2020 and you're very welcome back to the Irish Unity podcast. It's a worrying time, folks, because we come to you from the middle of the calm before the storm, so we're told, of the inevitable COVID-19 outbreak which is raging through the world, and which obviously is of relevance to Irish Unity activists. We're going to hear tonight from activists from everywhere, from Strabane to Dublin to Omagh to Newry and elsewhere. It's a Irish Unity issue. It's an issue for the Irish Unity community. So we're going to be hearing from independent working class councillor Gavin Malone down in Newry. He's going to give us some good news stories about independent working class initiatives down there to look after the vulnerable and the elderly. We're going to hear from councillor Paul Gallagher up in Strabane, County Tyrone, as to why he believes an all-Ireland approach is vital in dealing with this crisis. We're going to hear Sean Bresnahan, another activist from Omagh. We're going to hear about, and who's also a carer for his partner. We're going to hear him express real anger about the inadequate Tory/Stormont approach to all this. Whereas Michael McLaughlin, an RSP activist in Strabane, is going to bring us some news from close relatives of his who live in Wuhan, China, and are still, I believe, under lockdown. And finally we're going to hear from Joe Matthews, an activist from Crumlin in County Antrim, about some more reasons for hope and some reasons why we think there can be potential for change. But I'll start off with Councillor Gavin Malone from Newry. So, folks, with us on the line from Newry is the recently elected councillor Gavin Malone. Gavin, thanks for coming on tonight.
Yeah, no problem, Kieran. Delighted to be on board.
Good man. Gavin, it wasn't so long ago I was on a march down in Newry. It was the 50th anniversary of the 1969 Civil Rights March there, and the People's Councillor, Davy Hayland, he came along and he says, "Young Malone, you should put your name forward," and you did, and you topped the poll in the Ballybot ward, so congratulations for that there, Gavin. Well done.
Thanks very much, Kieran. It was a wonderful occasion, the Civil Rights Remembrance, and such a great turnout. Yeah, Davy had said that, and it's very humbling that people give me a huge mandate to represent their views and their concerns, and it's a challenging job for all councillors, but one that certainly I'm delighted to be doing for the people of the district.
Well, I'm sure it's an even more challenging job in the current climate, Gavin. As I was saying, you were elected on the back of your clear political activism within the working class communities down there, and your community activism, I should say. And it's a very worrying time, but we need some good news stories, Gavin. And I believe we have some great examples of community initiatives and organising down there during this COVID-19 crisis. Yeah.
Absolutely, Kieran. As you said, it's an extremely worrying time, but this is the island of Ireland, and we're well known for being very resilient and galvanised people. And recently, a number of people have contacted me, and myself and ours have been involved in delivering toilet rolls and shower gels and all sorts of bits and pieces, predominantly elderly people and vulnerable people. And at this moment we're still doing it, but what we have done, we've went out in less numbers to make sure everyone's safe, and we don't go into anyone's homes. We'll wrap the door, we'll have gloves on, and we'll not be in close proximity with anybody. But the people are absolutely overwhelmed, delighted, and they're emotional when they see people coming, because we all care, and ultimately that's what's very important, and we're prepared to step up the mark on behalf of the people to do what we can for all the people.
I think if we compare that, Gavin, and I was talking earlier to one of your colleagues up in Strabane, Derry, Councillor Paul Gallagher, and he's involved in a similar initiative. If we compare what yourselves are doing, presumably unpaid, unfunded, if we compare that to the action or the inaction that the state is taking, literally very little, if any, concrete direction, no indication that they're willing to go door to door to look after the vulnerable. I think to me it looks like what you're seeing is the formation of a new people's state in a time of crisis, or is that me being over dramatic?
Well, I have depended solely on businessmen within the community, and I've approached them and they would say, well, what would you like? And then they would go and get it, and then we would collect it. I mean, up to date, we have delivered about 1,000 packs of spider rolls. We have delivered 400 Easter eggs to children. Obviously, children are off school now. We have delivered hand packs of shower gels, razor blades, hand wipes. So, I mean, people are delighted to see you come in the door.
That's brilliant.
But ultimately, the government, need to do more for the people and reassure people. There's a lot of people out there who don't have much connection with anyone, and they're isolated. But we've identified a lot of people and will continue to watch them and monitor them and keep in contact on a regular basis with them to make sure that there's nobody left on their own at this time. And that's key, and that's very, very important. And it's also important that we've showed our cutting edge. And we have operated recently with ruthless efficiency and getting around to these people. I'll give you a great example. On St. Patrick's morning, we went into Derrybeg, and there's 5 avenues in Derrybeg, and there's a 6th avenue called Main Avenue. So we have 4th, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and Main Avenue. We had 2 people from each one of those avenues, and then we distributed the stuff to those 2 people to go to each avenue. So those people were all able to identify who the elderly people were, who the vulnerable people were, and we were able to do that job in a housing state of 300 houses within approximately 30 minutes.
That's absolutely brilliant. That definitely is a good news story, and we need that. And obviously we would be saying to our listeners, we need more of that. That's what we need, because I don't think, and it appears as time goes on, it doesn't look like we can rely on the British state to do this for us.
Well, there's an old saying that there's no point in talking the talk, walk the walk.
That's
Get
right.
out, and people who have influence within communities need to step up the mark. They need to lead. They need to make the people feel secure. They need to protect the elderly and vulnerable. And beyond there, no doubt, Kieran, I'll certainly step up the mark. I can speak for myself and the people who I represent. I won't be found wanting.
Yeah, I've no doubt, Gavin. You never have been. It's not since I've known you. I've known you for a long
since a child.
Since childhood, man. Yeah, but no, but that, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. And I know in other areas like in Belfast and Dublin, we've had examples of some unscrupulous businessmen upping the prices and taking advantage of the situation. And I would like to think, and I'm originally from Newry Armagh direction, I'd like to think it was different down there, but
well, I can't praise the people who own shops, the people who own businesses enough. They have been absolutely fantastic. Every single one that I've approached has went above and beyond. And there is, I mean, people say, well, why certain stuff is on social media? I think social media is a very good tool in making us look in and say, well, why can't we do this or do that? And I think to that extent, there's obviously stuff, sensitive stuff that you wouldn't put on social media. So not just the stuff on social media, there's a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes where people are being well looked after. And that's so important and vital. And, it's up to us to step up the mark. And I, on a personal level, who does what, I don't get involved in. It's what I can do and what the people who are with me can do, and we are very, very proactive. And we're very important. We don't, it doesn't matter about race, colour, creed. We help every citizen, and that's really important. And
your constituency, Gavin, it's Ballybutt, am I right? Yeah.
My constituency is Newry, the Newry DEA, which runs from Killian, where we were yesterday. We went up to Killian yesterday with some bags and packs for all the people in O'Reilly Park.
So it's right up to the border. It goes right up to the border. It goes up to Carrickdale.
The Mike area and the whole of Newry, as far as Shannon Park and the Belfast Road.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is like there's been a staggered approach. Like the Dublin government seem to be starting to get their act together in terms of the type of proactive action we need. It seems like the Brits and Stormont are way behind, which would obviously have implications on your constituency, and we're hearing the need. We've heard Councillor Gallagher talk about the need for an all Ireland approach. I don't know if you want to get too deeply into that, but could you see the fact that there's going to be a protectionist approach to aid in this crisis? Could you see that as being a disadvantage to your constituency?
Well, Kieran, obviously, with the way I'm looking at it, and I did say it to a number of fellow councillors, small parties recently. I mean, Newry is only 5 miles from Omeath.
Yeah.
And Omeath was in lockdown last week. It doesn't make much sense. With regards to this virus, in my opinion, there needs to be an all-Ireland approach, because you can have one school killing and another school over the road at the far side of Ravensdale, and maybe one child in one school and one in that. That's not a common sense approach. I mean, that's an absolute farce. An absolute farce. It's ludicrous.
Yeah, of course.
So there has to be an all-Ireland approach, because we all live in the same island. It doesn't make any sense not to have. It doesn't matter. I mean, I've spoken to people from the union situation, and the people I've spoken to agree with me.
Yeah.
And this isn't political. This isn't about green and orange. This is about people's safety and people's well-being, and people, working class people, working the guy. And it's irrelevant about green and orange. This is about ordinary working class people and what they can do for each other. That's the most important thing.
That's the overwhelming message that we're hearing. I mean, I even hear the likes of Jamie Bryson starting to come out last week and criticise, the staggered approach, criticise the adherence to the London approach. So, listen, Gavin, I want to say 2 things. Firstly, I want to thank you for coming on tonight. I want to thank you for all the fantastic. I'm sure all of Newry wants to thank you for the brilliant work and that you're doing down there at the minute. But just as importantly, like you and the comrades, all the activists down there, to stay safe. And
thanks very much.
Best of luck to you, Gavin.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I don't know whoever or wherever your audience is.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that they galvanise and they get behind the elderly people, the vulnerable people, and step up the mark, do what has to be done. And in this world we're only passing through, and if we can do good for anyone, we'll do it. Well
said, buddy. Listen, I hope to see you again, and as I say, when this is all over, we'll grab an old pint somewhere.
Brilliant.
Alright, comrade, see you later.
Okay,
take care now.
Slan. Bye bye.